All right, so I just wanted to go over the chromosomal theory of inheritance really quickly. And so, one thing I want you to notice is it's not called the chromosome theory, it's not called the inheritance theory, it is the chromosome theory of inheritance. And so, it is specifically talking about the theory of how chromosomes are a crucial part of how genes are inherited. And so, one of the things about a chromosome is that chromosomes have genes on them, and those genes are found at a specific location called a locus. And so, there's a bunch of different pictures here. For example, with this one, band 3 is found on chromosome 12, P, which is the short arm, which is for petite, 3. So it's the third band on the short arm of chromosome 12. And so you can get really specific with that locus. We don't in AP biology, but it just shows you an example of how you can find those specific loci, which is the plural for locus, for these genes. So that's the first thing, is that every gene has a specific location. And so if this is the gene for, say, I don't know, being able to roll your tongue or not, then in every human on Earth, that gene is going to be on chromosome number 12, the short arm, band number 3. And so those loci are the same for the entire species. So that's the first part, is that every gene is found at a specific location. And so when that chromosome is inherited, all of these genes on it are going to be inherited as well. The second part is that during meiosis, the chromosomes are going to segregate, meaning they're going to separate out. So if you look here, this would be in prophase or metaphase 1. As it goes through the rest of meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, those 4 chromosomes, or 4 chromatids at this point, for chromosome number 1 and the 4 for chromosome number 2 are going to separate out into these 4 daughter cells. And so that's called the principle of segregation. The other thing is independent assortment, and that is simply that the chromosomes are not paying attention to what other chromosomes are doing. And so we've talked about that a lot before. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail now, but it just basically means that chromosome number 1 doesn't pay attention to chromosome number 2, and chromosome number 2 doesn't pay attention to chromosome number 1 when they're lining up and doing their thing. And so those are basically the parts of the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Genes have a specific location on a chromosome, and then chromosomes are segregated and sorted independently during meiosis so that those chromosomes end up in specific daughter cells, one of the 4, and whatever genes are on those are going to be in that same daughter cell. And that is how those genes are inherited. I hope that helps. If you still have questions, let me know.